professionals. And I have Mr. Oluwadare Olukayode Paul. He is the National Secretary, Nigeria Association of Animal Health and Husbandry Technologists in Nigeria.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you. I hope you had a nice trip.
By His grace.
And I also have a prince of the land, and he is Prince Oyewumi Oyedele Oyetunde. He is the chapter chairman of the Nigeria Association of Animal Health and Husbandry Technologists in Ogun State. You are all welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
It's a pleasure having you.
To be here.
It's a pleasure having you, and it's a pleasure to also having you to enlighten the members of the public on the topic agriculture and livestock production, how citizens can secure optimum production and economic benefit. So you have to start the ball rolling by giving us, with the establishment of livestock ministries development, what has happened?
Okay, sir. Thanks so much for the opportunity to talk about this, sir. The establishment of the Federal Livestock Development Ministry has been long overdue. But let's thank God for His Excellency, the President of Nigeria,
Ahmed Bola
Tinubu, for taking the bold step. There have been several issues that have made food security to be a serious concern. But with the establishment of this ministry, and the Honorable Minister has said the ball rolling, his target is to double the population of the arts that we have in Nigeria. With the statistics they have
population of human beings or
animal. When you talk of arts, you don't talk of arts refers to animal.
Okay.
The statistics they have is that they have 398.9 million animals in Nigeria, and they want the number to double. The contribution of livestock to Nigerian GDP they want it to double also. They are getting about $37 billion. With the mandate to double, we are looking at $74 billion per annum.
Great.
Livestock contributing to this. But to achieve this, there are several areas that need to be focused on. One is the area of insecurity, climate change, the genetics of our animal, livestock improvements, the health of the animal, because with the livestock, with the climate change, comes with disease. The animal comes down with disease, and that's where the professional comes in. The health aspects, the nutrition, and the management. So all these things encompass together, and with the ministry taking the bull by the horn, I'm very sure that let's give them a year or two, we'll be able to achieve the projected target.
Thank you very much, Prince. That's a big word for the animals.
Yes, sir.
Well, I really want to get to you, Mr. Oluwadare.
Yes.
Where we are talking of agriculture, we know that agriculture is varied, it has its own pillars and the like. Can you quickly explain the pillars in agriculture?
I will quickly address this matter by using an acronym, 7 P's Foundation of Agriculture. What do I mean by these 7 P's? Practice of agriculture itself. What are the options? Number 2, you are talking about the policy. What's the government attempting to do? In which direction is it going? What's the mandate? Number 3, what are the principles of agriculture? Do we still want to use primitive or orthodox in the modern age?
Or we are combining?
Then we need to move to the priorities. What are the priorities? What are the scientific discoveries, technological advancements, modern innovations, infomercia, youth empowerment, this and that? These are priorities in agriculture for food and development. Then we are talking about the professional personnel, which is another P. That is the 5th P. Who are the professionals in agriculture. What are they doing? How do they synergize? And why or how or which, when or where should they come together to form a tangent so that at the end of the day, the mandate of agric will be achieved? Then the 6th P is the premises. When you are talking about premises of agriculture, you are talking about quality assurance. We don't talk about the premises as just the environment. We are talking about quality assurance, safety warrants, consumer concerns, competitive advantage, economic variables. These are the premises under which we want to talk about agric. Then portfolio, who are the stakeholders? Who are the shareholders? Who are the share benefit? Who are the concerned, the risk bearers? Then when you are now talking about the S, that S means 1, services. What are the common services under agriculture? That is where you have the consultancy, the holding, even those who are involved in transportation. They are part of services, NURTW or any of them. They should be involved. What are the surveillance, diagnostics, and all this? What are these? By the time you look into this, you should be able to go into livestock, crop, or this and that. And naturally, being a professional in livestock goods, if we all put our hands on deck, you too, you are playing a role in achieving food security by organizing this kind of program. Everybody must also come up now. Don't just look at Tinubu, who is in Aso Rock, to come and help you in Abeokuta to achieve food security. He has created a pathway, and one of them is the Ministry of Livestock that my brother just mentioned now, that is even the anchor in this program. So we must now look together, look inwardly. There is a big vacuum. We must all feel it.
Thank you very much. When we're talking about a big vacuum,
Yes, sir.
can you, in a way, explain to us those vacuums that we need to fill, connecting it with individuals, families, farmers, and the like?
Thank you very much, sir. The big vacuum is so enormous that everybody must be involved. A family of 4 or 5 will spend close to 30,000 on pepper, tomato, and onion in a month.
That's when they manage.
When they manage. So if everybody will start from his own or her backyard, put something there. Price of egg is going up. If you have, I have, you have, nobody will increase the price anyhow, arbitrarily. The demand will be the pressure on the product will be minimal. So what we need to do is to encourage ourselves, go into farming. If you have goats, in those days you have our mothers that they have their, will be out. If everybody is involved at their own level, and as somebody that want to invest, you must get prepared. Know what you want to do, not because somebody is doing layers. I want to do layers. No, no follow, no copycat in livestock industry.
So you must know what you want to do. Then you must know your strengths.
How do you want to sell what you want to produce? Don't produce and be looking for market. You must know what you want to, where you are going to sell your product. Not that I have produced now, I don't want market. No. Determine what you want to do. There are several value chains in livestock industry. For poultry, for example, you can be a breeder. Just produce the day old and sell. You can say you want to be selling carton that they pack the chicken there. You can sell.
That's where you mention options. When you want to talk about options, which area do you want to go into? Crops, livestock, that is, you want to go into food animals, you want to go into mixed farming, you want to go into inputs. All what you want to do is about input. How do you get salt for somebody raising poultry? Ordinary salt. Okay, I discovered that what always come around are the soja ants. How do you handle soja ant? You can just take that as your own area. And a farmer is struggling with soja ant will need you because he doesn't want his livestock to be ravaged. Then you can also talk about enhancement. You can decide to go into soil improvement. You can be into water environment, water improvement, environmental protection, vocational empowerment, this and that. These are part of options. You can also move to scales. These are practice of agriculture now. When you talk about scales, there is micro, in which case you feed your mouth. Somebody had about 6 cups in his kitchen. What's he doing with the broken cups? These styrofoam No, styrofoam cup, which they are using to drink tea.
Okay, okay.
He just used it to prepare onion, and he's raising onion. Growing onion in the kitchen, on the kitchen window. When you grow such an onion, you want to cook, what do? Do you go to the street to go and buy that one? No. That is micro. Micro means you are feeding your own mouth. Then you can move to mini. You are feeding your family, immediate family. Then you can go into small scale. In small scale, you have something to sell that can sustain you and your children. You can go into medium. It means that you are moving. For instance, when you have a mini, your livestock, your poultry, for instance, your layers, they are no more than 200. That is mini. But when you want to go into medium, you are having up to 5,000. You can decide to go into large.
That's going into business.
That's going to business. Then you can also make types of agriculture. These are still under practice. I'm talking, 7 P's. I'm talking about practice. What are the types? You can decide to go into conventional soil and natural facilities. You can go into soilless agriculture. That is alternative. Now, you can have people in Aja. Do they have soil to plant? No. But they go and take tires, they fill them with sand, and they go into it. Aquaponics. All these ones.
What are those people who are using the sacks?
It's part of it, soil in sack, aerial farming and all this. You can then even under practice, you can go into formation. What is formation of agriculture? In formation, yes, I want to start raising branded livestock, organic. No chemical added. No. You can decide to brand your agriculture. That is conditional. You can go into non-conditional. That is where a lot of people have issues. You just raise your product without doing assessment of where is the market, who consumes. Then you can also decide to do constitutional farming. What are these constitutional farming? Come as cooperative. 8, 10 of us. Let us form a cluster. We want to be planting ginger. No, we want to be planting red pepper. That is cluster. These are part of constitutional. They are part of it, so that at the end of the day, if you are asking where should you go, there are lots, like my brother mentioned. If you don't do your pre-farming planning, that is number one. Pre-farming planning.
What do you understand by that?
Pre-farming planning is this. Let's take this studio. Let's agree that this studio is 4 plots.
Okay.
In pre-farming planning, where do I use for my silo? Okay. In pre-farming planning, where do I put my waste pit? Where do I put my incineration? Where should the well water be? Where should be my overhead? Oh, I should put my pigs here. I should put my poultry here. If you fail to do your pre-farming planning, you have failed in the agriculture. Then number 2, you must do your SWOT analysis. What is SWOT? Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. What do you know to do best? For instance, I've been so good in raising pullets. I can raise 10,000 pullets without losing 50. But as good as I am, and as I've trained students, I can't raise 1,000 broilers without losing 100.
So probably we need to get the magic.
So what I now need to do is this. I pick the students that I've trained who know how to raise broilers
and learn from them
than me, and collaborate with them. So anytime I want to raise broiler for somebody, come. I will be supervising him, but he knows how to do it naturally than me. So where is my area of strength? Where is my area of weakness? Most farmers, they don't know their SWOT analysis. They just say that my brother is planting maize. In fact, by the time he planted cassava last year, in fact, he harvested 27 tons. What about the soil? What about your flair? What about your interest? You gamble into it. At the end of the day, you'll be looking for those who will come and buy it at the whatever they want to buy it.
And it will just amount to...
And then, like they always say, you will spoil the market, because if somebody could buy it from your price at the price you give to them, not knowing that you are selling at distress, they use that price to determine what others want to buy. So these are some of the areas of the farming planning. Let me quickly put it there. Okay. If you don't sample the soil you want to do your agriculture, you have failed. Somebody came to me recently that he had about 22 acres and he wanted to plant maize, cassava there. We went there and we took the sample to the laboratory. By the time we came out of the result, we discovered that if you plant maize, your challenges are already waiting by underwater level, which will not make your maize to come out. So these are some of the areas where people miss it, and they go and tell you that they did agree and they failed. Don't let me take much of time. I still have a lot in that area.
It's highly enlightening, and I found it interesting. Prince.
Yes, sir.
You see, I want us to look at families, because that is the micro level, and that is how we can sustain ourselves in this hardship that we have found ourselves. What are the hints or information or pieces of advice that you want to give to every family practically on what they should do? People who have, maybe even if it's just a plot or two,
it's even too much.
Too much?
You can feed your family.
A plot is too much to feed your family.
No, let's go
when
to
you come
it.
to livestock, you don't need more space.
Okay.
The only thing you need to consider is your environment, your neighborhood.
Okay.
Hope is not, you are not going to constitute nuisance
Okay.
to neighbors with the odor of livestock. You are going to livestock. Maybe it's crop plant farming, you might not destroy anybody with that. Only all you need to do is consider your soil, water availability, and climate. Then crop farming, the moment you go beyond 1 acre, you must provide water to irrigate.
Okay.
Because climate cannot be predicted again. This rainfall
That
pattern
must be
is not steady.
Okay.
You can play, okay, my rain will start in April, you have it for 2-3 months, plant your maize. Along the line, the rain will cease. But for livestock farming, for family to feed themselves, get yourself a cage that can house 20 broiler. They will eat your food, they will produce egg for you, you have meat to eat. Get sheep and goats, put it in a place and then demarcate it so that they will not be disturbing you. All you need to do is to be conscious that you are not constituting nuisance. If you have layers, use the manure to plant vegetable. Within the garden, that will not pollute the environment. You have your crop, you have your maize, you have pepper, onion, anything you can plant in your farm. Use your manure from the livestock to fertilize the soil. Somebody came to my house and said, "Are you watering this maize?" I said, "We didn't water the maize at all because that place we are using for poultry. So it's natural rich. So you don't need to. If I have maize, you have maize. They now say one maize 500 naira. I cannot buy it because you have and I have. So family must get involved. If it's fish you want to do, look for this white tank. It will take 1,000.
You don't even need to go far. Ordinary unused bathtub. The bathtub that you don't even use. Why is it wasting away? If I may cut you short, sir, I will give you an example of somebody quickly.
Well,
the person lost.
Of course, we might have to continue that discussion next week.